Hey y'all! Welcome back to another episode of Divinely Inspired. I'm your host, Inspired, here to inspire you guys back to unconditional love through inspired thoughts and conversations. Guys, we're back. Okay? I can't be long because I actually got to eat and I'm not at my normal table, so I'm sitting in the car because again, I have to pivot, guys. Remember that one we did on Change about pivoting? Pivot, if you know what I'm talking about. Today we're going to talk a little bit about judgments. We're going to talk a little bit about judgments, okay? Because what I am finding is that we all have judgments about ourselves, about other people, just in general. Yeah, ma'am, that's literally, I get it. Like, them ants and stuff, they be relentless. I know. It was a good idea until it wasn't. But we're talking about judgments, okay? And we're going to talk about our own judgments. We're going to talk about judgments of other people. Judgments about things. Just in general, okay? Hi, Trish. I can't see your comments, but I can see that you're watching. That's all I can see when you guys are like on here, and I want to like be responding to y'all and like to y'all stuff, which is why I go back and do it. But I can't see any of your comments until after I get off, so I just say hi, Trish. But judgments. So during my meditation this morning, y'all know I do that every morning. I get a 4:15 every morning, y'all. Early morning. That's mad time. To shine, okay? And I usually meditate in the shower. So I have my water. Sorry, y'all. Not sorry. I'm kind of extra hyper vigilant because of some recent things that happened. So I'm kind of like, you might see me looking around and like looking over my shoulder. I'm kind of hyper vigilant right now. Had a bit of an experience recently that kind of put me in flight mode a little bit. Working my way out of it though. But what I'm realizing is we have a lot of judgments, and we don't think about our judgments until it's pretty much we have like hurt somebody. Get out of my car. There we go. We don't hurt somebody or hurt ourselves or abandon ourselves, or we're people please. Y'all gonna see me eating a little bit because I'm on lunch. And y'all know, for those of you who know me, and you know me, y'all know I got diagnosed with like a eating disorder. So you're gonna see me eating. I don't identify with it, but that's part of why you might see me like snacking or like shoveling food in my face. So one thing that I'm gonna say is being judged is not fun. Being judged is not fun, and it's one of those, if you wouldn't want nobody to do it to you, then don't do it to nobody else kind of thing. But sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it to ourselves. So if we're doing it to ourselves, more than likely we're doing it to other people, because I told you in the other video that 12:21 on the clock, y'all. But when we're judging ourselves, when we're judging other people, we don't realize that we're actually judging ourselves in turn. So, a judgment can sound like, why don't you just? That's a judgment. Because what's easy for you ain't easy for somebody else. So, if you hear yourself going, well, why don't they just, or they could just, or we could just, you're judging. If you're saying things like, why don't you? Or, no, not necessarily why don't you, but like, I don't know how to explain. Like, when you say, well, why don't you just do this? Because you don't know their situation. That's why they don't do it. Their situation may not call for it. You know, you can offer suggestions by asking, hey, are you open for a suggestion? Hey, are you open for, outside opinion or outside thoughts? Because in turn, that person might not even be in a place for that. You know what I mean? And when we're looking at judging other people, yeah, we can talk to them, we can go to them, we can have a conversation, we can do all those things. But if we're still judging ourselves, it won't change our interactions. It'll just modify what we say, and we'll say it differently thinking that we're helping when we're actually could potentially be harming our relationships. So, we're going to take those thoughts and we're going to circle them back on ourselves. We're going to ask ourselves, whenever you say to someone else, or you have the thought, you might not even say it, if you have the thought, they should just do this. Stop and ask yourself where that's coming from. Because just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for them. Also, I'm thinking about even when I did that live yesterday, and I was talking about how nervous I am about posting on my personal page. First of all, I have not been on that. I'll post now. I started posting a lot more than I have in a long time, but I don't post a whole lot there now. So I have a lot of judgments towards myself. And upon understanding my judgments towards myself, it helps me to be able to understand my judgments towards others. So when you start thinking about questions to ask, if you're sitting somewhere and you're looking in the mirror and you go, maybe this shirt is not, fit for me. First of all, that's a judgment, because you're judging yourself based off of what you're wearing, how it's fitting, all of that, which is okay to an extent. What we don't want to do is start to talk about ourselves and how we look in a negative light because of what it is that we're wearing. When you start to go into the judgment mode, we tend to do that sometimes. Like I was saying, for me posting on my regular page, I'm judging myself because I know the people that's on my regular page. I know that there's a lot of judgments on all sides, even from me. And so it causes about a fear. And judgment can create fear. So being mindful of the words that we are thinking to ourselves, the words that we're speaking to others, making sure that what we say to someone else, that we are not actually saying it to ourselves. So, say for example, you have a friend or a coworker, right? And they come up to you and they are, you love them, you gotta love the humans, okay? We love the humans. And they come up to you and they go, well, I don't know if those pants would fit you like that. Number one, why? Why are you worried about, my pants and how they fit on me? I like the way my pants fit on me. Not saying that this has happened. I'm just giving an example because I can't think of a whole lot right now because I'm working off a little bit of hunger brain too. But, when we start looking at someone else and wondering why they do this, why they do that, stop and ask yourself, why are you doing that? Why are you even standing there wondering about somebody else? Why isn't your focus on your thoughts? Why isn't your focus on something that you're creating? Why isn't your focus on something that you're learning? Why are we looking at someone else and going, well, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why did they say this? Why did they say that? Because at the end of the day, they're taking up mental space. And on top of that, you're judging them. So when somebody comes back and says something to you, you're like, oh my God. What goes around comes right back around. It's like it'll come full circle. So be mindful of the thoughts that we have towards ourselves. Because I judge myself going live like this because I look at I'm not going to lie, when I'm looking at myself now, it's very different. But I used to hate the sound of my voice. How do people listen to me? I be like, I sound like a raspy old man. I used to rag on myself. And then I noticed that I was paying attention to how other people talked. I was paying attention to how other people carried themselves, how they spoke slowly or quickly or, jumbled up their words. And then I stopped myself and I went, well, why do I feel this way about these people? The whole goal is to get it to circle back to you, because your thoughts are a reflection of who you are. So if you're judging or you're looking at somebody else and you're going, well, why don't they do this? Oh, that does not look good. Oh, what does she think this is? And mind your business, number one. I don't know, y'all, on my regular page, y'all saw a post I did a little while ago, and I said I'm trying to stay in my lane, but people keep swerving and running into pushing me into my Jersey wall. Like, stay in your lane. Why are you looking at what somebody else is doing? Why are you looking at how they live their life? As long as they are living their life and they are happy, that is all that matters. Anything more than that is out of alignment for that individual or for that situation or whatever. So be mindful of when you're judging yourself, because you can pull yourself out of alignment because you are judging yourself so harshly. You are judging other people. Whenever you get to a point that you feel like you are judging yourself because it starts to send you into maybe about a depression or maybe some sadness and you can't seem to gather yourself, here's what you do. Ask yourself why you're judging yourself. And if you are judging yourself harshly, would you say that to your friend? And I know people say that like, oh, that's cliche. But my whole thing that I've ever talked about was becoming friends with yourself. Looking in the mirror, smiling at yourself. Telling yourself how beautiful you are. Do y'all know how many times I rub my arms and my legs and my thighs and everything because I'm so daggone soft? I can't help it. Okay? I love myself. I love everything about me. Like, what in the world? How is people not doing these things? Like, I'm freaking soft. Okay? And it's like when I find myself getting to a point like I said yesterday, oh, I'm scared, I'm terrified. I came on to be vulnerable because sometimes I don't share those kinds of things. I'll go sit in a corner, sit in my room, sit somewhere where, I'm alone and trying to figure it out on my own. But I was like, I have this community. Why am I not reaching out to my community? Getting help. That's all a part of helping to release those judgments, because your community can help you see things that you don't even see about yourself. And sometimes that's needed. So I know a lot of us like to be in solitude, but we gotta, I feel like solitude is the best way to go. But also having a community is also good to go too. Like, you can have a community and still be in solitude. I don't want you to get it twisted that because you got a community, you're not an introvert. Because you got a community, you are a people person and you love being out. Let me tell y'all something. We already go to the state fair. Don't tell my kids, yo. Don't be posting it. My kids don't know where we're going. I'm going to surprise them. We're going to the state fair. And yesterday, I peopled so hard. I peopled myself out. And now my kids, I was away. I just found out that today was the last day for the fair. So now I got to go people even harder. Because I'm peopling right now, too. Yo, I'm an extroverted when I need to be. Or when I want to be. I am very much an introvert. I'd rather spend time in my house or outside, in my yard, on my hammock, reading a book, with my daughter, doing other stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Find you a good group of people, a good community in which you can do those things, because they will honor your space. The problem is we start judging ourselves like, I'm not good enough. No one's ever going to want to be my friend like that. No one's ever going to show up for me in that way. Well, no, they're not. Not with that mindset. Because remember, whatever you're saying to yourself inside, you're reflecting to the outside. So, like I tell my kids, never say never. Because you never know. Your spirits will be like, oh, you won't? Okay, hold my bear. I got you. And you will end up in every situation that you didn't want to be in because of it. Okay? Like I said, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you my experience. Trust me, I'm going through it right now. It's not all bad. It's just they send you through the ringer. When you say you want to grow, they're gonna make sure you grow, and they're gonna make sure you grow with integrity, love, understanding, compassion, understanding. Like I say, understanding. You got that twice because you got to understand yourself and other people. I'm trying to tell you, you got to do what works for you. You got to pay attention to your thoughts and how you are seeing yourself. That's why the mirror magic that I do, I suggest, stand in the mirror, smile at yourself. Hug yourself. I hug myself. I don't care who around. Right. I dap myself up Why not? Like, become best friends with yourself. You cannot create a community if you cannot be a part of the community that you are striving to be a part of. Does that make sense? You gotta be what you want. Yes. So if you want a supportive community, you have to be supportive to other people. If you want a judgment-free zone, you have to honor your thoughts and understand where they come from, because you cannot be judgment-free if you are still judging yourself. Remember, what you are on the inside is what is being reflected on the outside. So if you can't understand why you can't make friends, you can't understand why you can't keep a community of people, if you can't understand why you can't honor yourself and when you have in moments and it's just like you just go, down the shit rabbit hole, you know what I mean? Excuse my language. But, you know what I mean? Like, we have to do what we need to. Y'all know something that I noticed is that I scrunch my forehead as if I'm like, and I'm learning to not do that. Another judgment of myself. I'm learning not to do this because I'm noticing that it's like all like, I want to look surprised all the time. No, I'm joking with y'all. But y'all understand what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock progression. Somebody is progressing onto their highest timeline, and that's awesome. Like I said, sorry, not sorry, but I gotta eat. But, yeah. You want to make sure that, hang on, guys. You want to make sure that you're not giving up too much of your mental space judging other people and not taking care of yourself because you're judging yourself. We are all here. We are all beings of love. When you get into a mode of, like, feeling sad or depressed, ask yourself, start to question what it is that's causing you to be sad. I know a lot of us in my group are anxious. People say there's no cure for anxiety. That's a lie. Anxiety is fear of the future or fear of what could happen. If you can understand where those fears come from, you can fix your anxiety. And I don't care if people agree. If they don't agree, I really don't care. I know that everybody has anxiety at some point. But if you want to cure it, like to the point where you are able to understand what causes the anxiety, you have to get to the source of it. And to get to the source of it means you have to look at yourself in a non-judgmental way and understand that the thoughts that you have are thoughts that you have had, and it's time to start to recognize those thoughts. And then once you recognize those thoughts, what I do is I write them down, and then underneath of it, I'll write the thought that I want to replace it with, because whatever you have and you remove, you want to replace it with something else so that the space gets filled immediately, so that it doesn't get filled with other judgments or other things that you don't want. And if you want something else, then that's fine. But fill that space, fill that gap when you are ready to release it. At the end of the day, we are all in this together. When I see people struggling, it hurts my heart. When I see people happy, it like sends my heart chakra in overdrive. Okay? Like, I love. And the way to get to that unconditional I love is to see people for their humanness, not for their individuality. You guys see the humanness, because the individual can let you down, but the humanness is always going to be the same across the board. So see people for their humanness. If it's difficult to see them for their individuality, understand that person is also a person. They're also going through things. They're also changing. And if they're running into you, my beautiful kings and queens, then you are there to help change that person's life. Even if it's for a brief second. Even if it's just eye contact. You are there to change that person's life. And the way we do that is by changing our own life, by changing our own thoughts, by seeing ourselves as loving, love. Okay? So, with that, if you guys want to have any questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down below in the comment box. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, I do have it pinned in the top that where you can drop some questions, or you can drop it in the comments, or you can shoot me a message. I have car sessions that I am offering out where you can have me and my daughter come and we'll sit in the car. She'll step out, or we'll step out and smoke, and we'll get back in, and we can all have a car session like I do on my other lives. That's something you're interested in, you can hit me up. If you want to just have some conversations because you feel stuck in life, hit a sister up. Leave your name or whatever you need in the comments, or shoot me a message. I'm here for y'all. I love y'all. And all I want y'all to do is be y'all best. Do y'all best and be y'all best. Okay? And I'm going to close it out by saying, and one more thing, y'all. Don't let nobody tell y'all what to do. Ugh. That is nasty. They can go and suck a whole egg. Okay? You a boss. So boss up and show them who you are. Shine that light and don't let nobody take it away from you, because it ain't for nobody else but yourself. Okay? They are going to be drawn to you so that you can help them create their own lights. Okay? You are not someone else's property. You are not someone else's on-demand light. Have boundaries, have respect, and love yourself, okay? Boundaries is the epitome of unconditional love, okay? Anyone that makes you feel otherwise, okay? I'll holler at y'all. I love y'all. Stay smart, stay strong, and keep at it. Thank you, Spirit, for this message.